At least with self-employment, if things aren't going quite right, they're building up that resilience of what are my coping strategies? How can I actually deal with this?
G'day, I'm Deborah Caldo, and welcome to the Red Giraffe Solutions Expanding Worlds podcast, where we aim to support you as you help your young person with additional needs plan for their future. A future where they are safe, secure, and live a rewarding and fulfilling life. From around the world, I share stories and share solutions from people making this possible right now. I'm a parent of a young person with additional needs, so I understand the challenges. Many of the people I've interviewed on this podcast have already helped me design a better future for my daughter, and I hope that they might help you as well to imagine what's possible for your young person. We all know about the impact that work can have on our self-confidence and how it enhances our sense of self. And in this second part of my conversation with Sam Everard from Samee, she provides a real sense of this, as she shares some examples of the young people they've supported into self-employment. She also talks about the benefits of self-employment in providing a level of flexibility and control that many traditional job roles simply can't offer. So let's start by hearing about some of these successful small businesses from Sam. Can you give me a couple of your success stories just to get a feel for what kind of job roles people do in terms of self-employment?
One of our guys is a gardener. He started in his mum's garden and then did the next door neighbours and then did the next door neighbours. But he's very clear that he only does BH21 too. And it works for him because all of the people in that area know him. When he first came to us, he didn't communicate at all. He was very much a very quiet young man. We dealt with mum. And we did what we call a This Is Me document with him, where he wrote down everything that he was happy with and not happy with. So if he's got a blue jumper on, it's a good day. If he's got a green jumper on, don't talk to him. And he came to us with all these different things of what his rules and regulations of working with him. And we actually got him to create that document for his customers as well. So if he's out in the garden and he's got a hose in his hand, you can talk to him. If it's a fork, no, he's concentrating. So he did that with us. And then as he developed, we started to introduce him to BH21.3 and just gently nudge that a little bit.
This is a postcode.
Postcode, yeah.
He works within a certain postcode and that's his.
Yeah, that's his BH21.2. And we got him to expand out a little bit. And then he asked us whether there was anything else he could do because he's had so much support from us. He wanted to give back. So we got him to do what we call a Samee With session, where one of my guys did a little interview, a bit like we're doing now, and said, tell me about your business. And he did it. He was very nervous about doing it, but he did it. He has now, his diary is full completely. He has no gaps. And he is now a Samee ambassador. He is going into school and he is telling other young people, this is what I did. This is how I did it. This is my journey. His pictures of my gardening stuff, his picture of my uniform. He's now part of a football team, a Disability Counts football team, and he's making friends. And he's just a different person. If you'd have met him back then to now, you wouldn't recognise him. We've also got a football referee who goes out and does. He started at, I think it's level 1 to the bottom one, and he's worked his way up. He's at level 4 now. And he's done that. So we're actually supporting him with things like access to work payments to actually get him the travel that he needs. We've got numerous dog walkers. We've got a young gentleman who actually makes lampshades out of ring pulls, and he makes steampunk jewellery as well. Obviously got our spoon whittlers and our wood turners. We've got a couple of DJs. We've got some social media gurus. We've got loads of people that design cartoons. And we've got one young lady who makes fiddle rings because she's autistic. She doesn't like to have a fiddle toy because she finds it quite intimidating the way people look at her. So she created rings that she can just twist on her finger, and she now sells those. Another lady makes autism blankets that are weighted because, again, she needs that comfort for herself, and her friends have seen them and she's making more.
And I'm assuming as well that these are viable businesses.
Totally. I can tell you our spoon whittler one weekend before Christmas took £800 at a market. So we know that what they're doing is really good, and our gardeners are charging the right rates because their expertise and their knowledge. We've got one guy, we call him the bug man, because his knowledge is incredible on these bugs, and he wanted to set up a bug hotel. It's almost like a pet sitting service, if you like, for bugs when people go on holiday. And I asked him for an idea of what this hotel would look like on the floor plan, and he rolled out a roll of wallpaper across the cafe. I'm not joking, it was about 40 foot long. And the intricate detail on there was something absolutely incredible. And he does birthday parties. So he'll go out and do a birthday party and take tarantulas and crickets and, yeah, lovely things with him. But they're all viable. We wouldn't set someone up to fail.
Am I right in assuming as well that a lot of these guys, the traditional route, you mentioned the gardener, he probably never would have been able to do a traditional job?
The rules and regulations around traditional employment, if you think about a disabled person, just even getting on a bus in the morning, and even down to the rules and regulations they put on themselves. So they sort out what they're going to wear the night before, which, again, my daughter's autistic. I understand that you have to wear a bikini in midwinter and a thick coat in the summer. It's the way it goes. All of that kind of thing. And then they get up in the morning and the weather's not quite what they expected. They were going to get in the shower at 7 o'clock, but Dad's running late and he's hopped in the shower. They've gone downstairs and the brother's eaten their breakfast. That's before they've got on the bus. And then by the time they get there, the overwhelm's too much and they just can't do it. And people don't realise quite the daily challenges that our disabled people face. They think about, oh yeah, they're disabled, this is a barrier they face, but they don't understand always about that overwhelm that they feel, that stress. Have I got the right clothes on? Who am I going to see? What if I haven't got the bus? What if the roadworks are wrong? What if I'm late? All those things that start to go through their mind. Traditional employment doesn't work, whereas self-employment gives them that more freedom to structure their day and have that get out, and they know they can break from things.
Wouldn't also self-employment have some of those same challenges, though, when things don't always go? Or is that different because you feel you're in control of it?
I think our guys feel more in control. They don't have to prove to anyone as much. At least with self-employment, if things aren't going quite right, they're building up that resilience of what are my coping strategies? How can I actually deal with this? And with a more traditionally employed role, they're worried that people are watching them and they've got to behave and they've got to meet those rules and regulations. So in many ways, self-employment just gives them that little bit more breathing space and time.
What would you say to people that are thinking about going down that route?
Try it, because if you don't try, you don't know. If our spoon whittler hadn't have come to us with the spoons, then we wouldn't have been able to sit with him and say, this is what they're worth. These are special. These are why. Let's put them on Etsy. Let's do a little craft fair. Let's see where we go. If they don't try, they're never going to know. And I think it also encourages, self-employment also encourages different skills. So if they are making something, even down to art, we've got a couple of artists. One of our girls actually drew my dog with a biro, and she uses it now on her flyer along with some other pictures. She has done little postcards that she sells, and she puts those images onto other little things as well that she sells. And she's now learning of how to sell herself, how to build that confidence up, how to actually go and do that craft fair, how to pay for things, how to take money. So all the skills that they learn alongside that self-employment idea are vital. And I think if you don't try, you'll never know. You can always use these skills in other roles in different areas.
Where next for you guys?
So we have got advisors across the UK work on our adult programmes. At the moment, we are in talks with councils across the UK about developing our self-employment internship, which is where I'm also working at policy level to actually try and get these things recognised higher up the food chain. We're looking at putting in what we call pockets of excellent hubs. So where we're actually looking at the needs of the community rather than us going in and going, you need to be self-employed, this is how you do it. We're actually going in and saying to the communities, what do you need from us? So that's what our next step is, to create the pockets of excellence and actually get out there and do what support is needed. Samee works on what it calls to, for, with. We never do anything to somebody. We never do anything for something. We always do it with them. And every program that we've got is co-created. So our next steps is to go out there and listen and actually see what else we can do to support.
Do you have partnerships with other organisations?
Yes, we do. We work with work coach agencies to make sure that we've got the right people involved. We work with people like BASE, which is the Supported Employment Associations. But what we also do is work with local charities. So we work with things like the RNIB and Guide Dogs and Bournemouth Blind Society, for example, to actually learn more about different blind and different sight issues. We work with deaf associations for the same reason, because it's all very well saying, yes, this client is blind, But what exactly does that mean? We actually work with the associations and local charities to make sure what we're delivering is correct and meaningful. So we do a lot of charitable partnership, and then we obviously work with other organisations that offer similar things, like the work coach agencies, to make sure that the support we give is rounded. We work very much with circles of support around that young person. So we will make sure that that young person is the heart of everything we do. And then we work with anyone that we need to make that happen. And I think now the biggest thing that we're trying to do is increase social impact, and also to make sure that people have these opportunities. So the steps in self-employment qualification, the level 1, we have gifted that to the community. Anyone can take that qualification. It's out there. People can use it. People can work with us. The more people that work with us, the happier I'll be, because I know then that we're actually reaching the heart of the community.
Often when people choose the self-employment route is to pursue a passion, do something they really want to do. And the people Sam talked about very much fit into that. But as you also heard, for some of those people, it was about creating a business around a challenge they faced themselves. And that seems to me to be another good reason why this self-employment option needs to be one that more people not only know about, but also get the option to try. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that the stories and the solutions shared on here help you as you support your young person to create their future. And if you know anyone who would find the ideas useful, please share the podcast with them. Of course, if you want to, you can leave a review, because that is another way families who need this information can find it more easily. This show is created as part of Red Giraffe Solutions. To find out what the Red Giraffe is all about, visit redgiraffesolutions.com, where you'll find more resources around daily living, relationships, purpose and financial security. I'm at Deborah Caldo on Instagram and Facebook. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to have a conversation with you on any of those. Bye for now.